has got the X factor here at Old Trafford tonight in this, the 2010 Engage Super League Grand Final. Mick Potter leads Saints at the end of this game and heads across the Pennines to Bradford. What an atmosphere on the biggest night of the Rugby League year. Wigan against St Helens. Sean O'Loughlin will know that league leaders have gone on to win the grand final, Wigan themselves in 1998. Bradford Bulls 2001, 2003. St Helens 2002, 2006, and Leeds 2004 and last year. But it's St Helens who are on the other side of the field here tonight. And the players and officials line up, because before the game kicks off this evening we have a sad moment's silence to observe, because the fans who are packed inside Old Trafford are going to observe a minute's silence in memory of Terry Newton, who was found dead at his home last Sunday afternoon. Terry played for Wigan in the grand final and also for Bradford and briefly for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. He played for Leeds Rhinos, of course. He's a former Great Britain international hooker. Many of the players on duty tonight knew him as a personal friend. A great player in his day, Terry Newton was banned for using human growth hormone in February of this year. His untimely death has rocked the rugby league to its core, and our sympathy goes to his family, his wife Stacey, and the two young children that he leaves behind. We remember Terry Newton now. Terry Newton played in 4 of the first 6 grand finals at Old Trafford. Richard Silverwood's the man in charge. Big night for him as well. This is the moment of truth.
Certainly is, Eddie, and this is where the nerves start to jangle. And you can see on the faces of some of these youngsters who have never experienced such pressure, such tension. It is a wonderful stadium. The theatre of dreams, and will that dream continue for the St Helens captain tonight, Kieran Cunningham. It should be a cracker. So much quality and class will be on display for the next 80 minutes. Not much between them, Eddie. Very rare I sit on the fence, but I just cannot split them at the moment.
No. It will take a brave man to predict the outcome of this. It's going to be St Helens in their changed jerseys of blue who gets the game underway. High hanging kickoff. Thomas Lulawai is underneath it. And there's the first tackle of the grand final.
Took it well as well, did Lulawai. He knew that the charge was coming towards him. Got plenty of height from that kickoff. Very, very good indeed. Interesting to see what the tactics will be from the Cherry and Whites. Will they just play it pretty casual? Nice little dummy there from the hooker.
That was Paul Deacon at dummy half. He got the ball away. St Helens moving in very quickly to cut the options down. Michael McAlorum, Thomas Lulawai speeds it wide and finds Joel Tompkins. He was nearly through. It was an important tackle made by Chris Flannery. Here's the last tackle. The kick from Lulawai over the head of everybody. And it bounces kindly, though, for young Jamie Foster. who slips inside his own 10-metre zone.
Well, it looked as though it was going to be a poor kick, but the slip there from Foster, and he allowed the pressure. Pretty good chase there. It was pretty smart move by the scrum half, Thomas Lulawai. It looked they were going to kick on the fourth tackle, but he sent it out wide, nearly get the big second rower Joel Tompkins moving out on that right-hand side. He's going to be an impressive player tonight.
Bryn Hargreaves, that's a tremendous tackle on him. Once upon a time, of course, he was a Wigan player, Hargreaves. There's James Graham and Michael Maguire, the Wigan coach, watching that great defence. It's restricted Saints to their own 30-metre mark, and the kick from Matty Smith is straight into the arms of Sam Tompkins.
Well, not the best from Matty Smith. Maybe a little bit of nerves, obviously, running through his body, but they've got to try to make sure that they can get the ball away from the full-back. Sam Tompkins taking it on the full. Look how Wigan, they're over to the halfway line already, applying the pressure.
Mick Potter, the Saints coach, watching anxiously on as Fielden takes the ball in. Fielden saying that after this grand final, he'll maybe start thinking about a possible comeback to the international scene. We'll need the call from Steve McNamara if that comes off. That's a high kick from Lulawai. It's very well taken by Melly.
And again, the tactics of high kick, obvious early part of a big game like this, but equal to the tax.
Most teams in rugby, as we see Melly take that kick, most teams in rugby get excited at the thought of try scoring. Wigan this season have had more excitement when they've had to defend. Just watch how quickly they'll push forward. 3 or 4 men in the tackle, and at the moment that has restricted St Helens both in terms of the go forward. Hang on a minute, Richard's got it. Yes. Look at the effectiveness of that compressing defence.
Yes, that was a mistake by St Helens. Richards was on it in a flash. That's Carmont. This is Harrison Hansen.
It was a shocking pass from Soliola.
McIlorum goes right and finds Coley. Coley takes them on down the middle. Cunningham is there. Pulatua wrestles him to the ground. They're 12 metres away, Wigan. McIlorum, back it comes to Deacon. Deacon then to Lulawai. And Graham slipped, missed the tackle. It's Gleeson! It's Martin Gleeson for Wigan! Richard Silverwood hands the decision upstairs to video referee Ian Smith. But that looked as though Martin Gleeson got over the line and grounded the ball cleanly. And what a start this has been for the Warriors.
Slick hands, tried to stop him. That's the try time. No doubt, the video ref Ian Smith tonight won't have to look at this more than a couple of occasions. That is a TRY, and Wigan, quick hands out on that right-hand side. This will be confirmation, and it'll set this stadium alight.
It will if you're carrying Wigan's colours. It was an awful sloppy pass inside their own half by St Helens, and Martin Gleeson over for the first try of the Grand Final 2010. Second Grand Final appearance for him, the first for Wigan. He won and scored a try for Saints 1918 against Bradford Bulls in 2002. Martin Gleeson, Wigan have the perfect start.
It came from the header from St Helens. Sia Soliola, poor pass. Allow them, look at that. That's a shocker. Richards far too quick, put them into position. And what they've done so many times this year, 2 dummy runners, 3rd dummy runner, get the overlap, squeezed in. They were man on man, but they moved as a sliding defence, did Saints. And what a start it is for the Cherry and Whites. Couldn't stop him.
Delight on the face of Martin Gleeson. Now then, can Pat Richards add the extras? The new man of steel. No, he misses with his first kick. Barry.
Eddie, what we saw when we watched both teams warm up, that Wigan came out really, really early. The kickers, the catchers, the forwards came out a bit later than that, but it was obvious from that initial warm-up that they were ready to start at 300 miles an hour, and that's just what they've done.
Eddie, great start by the Wigan Warriors. But just to put to bed any of the fears about the team changes, Francis Melly is definitely playing on the wing, even though from this kickoff you'll see him defend 2 in. But he'll end up going to the wing. Johnny Lomax will come 2 in from the sideline. He is playing as a pivot. Chris Flannery has gone to the left side second row, and Sia Soliola has come to the right side second row. So they have jigged it round a little bit, but certainly not to the point that we were led to believe just before kickoff.
So Wigan with a 4-point advantage, and that's Andy Coley, and he plays the ball there to McIlorum. There is Lulawai, now it's Deacon, and movement all over the park from the Wigan Warriors. Harrison Hansen takes the ball forward.
They're all over the place, St. Helens defence. Some are moving up, others are hanging back. Can't afford it. Well, this kid's on the park. Quick play the ball, it'd be a good kick, high kick as well.
It's straight up and under from Sam Tompkins. Wellens, though, safe as houses underneath the high kick.
But great pressure by Wigan. They really are up for it. It's amazing what a try can do to you, build up your confidence, but what a great tackle that. They mean business, Wigan. I thought it would be Saints that perhaps would launch everything they had in the opening 20 minutes. Trouble is, St. Helens can't get the ball.
They have it now, though. This is Graham. He went inside McIlorum. Cunningham again. There's always danger when the big men get hold of the ball for St. Helens. This big back rower, Tony Pulatua, and Wilkin with the left foot stab kick over the top, but that will skip its way over the dead ball line.
They just have not got that kicking game sorted out as yet, though many people perhaps think it's quite good. Well, the tap on the 20, they can get their full line of defence on the 30. But again, this advancement by St. Helens is slow, it's poor. Some are going, others are hanging back. It creates all sorts of problems for you.
That's a better tackle from Soliola on Fielden. McIlorum gets it to Hansen. This is Carmont now. And at dummy half again is McIlorum. He finds Lulawai, who in turn finds Coley. Coley gets Wigan to the halfway line. Grounded on tackle number 4. The kick here may be early, but no, they're running it, Wigan. That's Joel Tompkins, it's Gleeson. There's the kick. But Wellens had shuttled across and cut down the option zone. Lachlan went in a little bit high. It seemed to be a swinging arm. Thankfully, he didn't make proper contact.
Well, he certainly raised the arm. I don't know what it was about swinging. Oh, yeah, swing over the top. Well spotted, Eddie. That really should have been picked up by the official, Richard Silverwood. Doesn't have to make contact to give a penalty. The intent was there.
We're nearly 8 minutes into the game, Eddie. St. Helens have had the ball 4 times. Every time they've received it with inside their own 20. And Sean was talking before the game. If Wigan can continue to do that for the majority of this match, they'll win this game easily.
Cunningham, though, is out there. And he gets the ball away to Matt Gidley. And Gidley goes down 40 metres away from the Wigan line. Lomax. And up it goes off the boot of Matty Smith. Tompkins is underneath it.
Great work by Matty Smith. Not only put the kick on, but he put everyone else on side. When he rushes through, came up with a tackle, which is important now, Saints, to try to squeeze Wigan down in their own half. On every occasion, they've made it over the halfway line quite convincingly.
Important night this, of course, for all sorts of reasons. Obviously for the 2 clubs involved, as Wigan get the penalty. That's the first penalty of the grand final. Stuart Pearce on the right, talking to Steve McNamara on the left. Steve McNamara has been to the England FA headquarters and talked about internationals and international preparation and how they handled the disappointment of the World Cup. It's all the build-up to the 4 nations.
Well, you saw there quite convincingly that this St. Helens defence is just all at sea. Even the simple factor of getting one behind the other, standing square at the play of the ball, giving away so many metres forward.
This is Andy Coley for Wigan. And McIlorum waits. Seemed to be maybe a problem there for Soliola. Very slow to get back into his defensive line. And that's touched by Foster. It will be brought back this.
It was a knock-on. Foster definitely got a fingertip to it. Fair play to the youngster. You play to the whistle, but I'm afraid the whistle was very, very quick indeed. There you see, the right arm. Took a huge gamble, though Paul Wellens was in a pretty good defensive situation. There's the confirmation.
Well, watching that, there seems to be, Foster pulled back for the knock-on, there seems to be a problem for Soliola because he's been visited a couple of times by the physiotherapist. It was his slack pass that led to the first try. And I think also the physios had a little word in the ear of Tony Pulatua as well. But look where Wigan get the head and feed, 12 metres away from the line. Here they are now with Luluwai, pops it up. And this is George Carmont. Wants to get up and play the ball quickly. McIlaurin waits. It's with Luluwai. Joel Tompkins, Melly and Flannery are there to bring him down. Wigan, they've been so good with ball in hand so far. Luluwai fires the pass to Deacon. He finds Tompkins! And Tompkins is pulled down by Gidley. Wellens was there as well. McIlaurin again, dancing in front of the defence. Cunningham gets to him though. That's the fourth tackle. O'Loughlin to Luluwai again. Lovely flick pass to Gleeson. It was well watched by Pulatua. Here's Deacon again on the last tackle. O'Loughlin with time, and he hoists it wide looking for Pat Richards. Pat Richards palmed it down. It's another knock on by Matty Smith.
Yep.
This pressure's enormous.
Certainly is, and what a beautiful kick. They do it all the time. He's one of the tallest men in Super League, Pat Richards. Here's the kick. Watch out, Richards. He doesn't want to catch it. Had no intention at all, and then Matty Smith gets fingertips to it. Extra pressure for the Saints. And their coach, Mick Potter, has got to get the word out. Hey, come on, you've got to move up as a unit. They're all at sea.
You know, Wigan will do two kicks in that situation. They will kick for the wingers, Ed. It's been successful for them this year. They'll also kick for the fullback, Sam Tompkins, and they'll try and find in midfield a play I think that they'll do later in the match.
They come down the short side though here. They try to bring Richards back on the diagonal run. Cunningham pushes him, could have been a penalty. The referee says to Pat Richards, just get up. This is Coley. Now it's with Luluwai. Went between the gap, but Pulatua and Wilkin closed it. McIlaurin again to Tompkins. Tompkins will get to his feet. Plays it to McIlaurin. Here is O'Loughlin. Now Luluwai. Carmont going one-on-one. Important tackle by Matty Smith. Richards back to Andy Coley. Coley then fires it to McIlaurin. He finds Tompkins. They're sweeping it wide to the right-hand side. Joel Tompkins. Flick past Darryl Goulding. Saints shuttling across and getting to him.
Here's another kick to the corner, surely. Oh, it's a shocker pass.
It's with McIlaurin. There's the kick, though, looking for Richards. Foster's come out of the line. Richards catches it, dumps it to Carmont. Matty Smith did well. Here is Richards. Richards gets it back over the head of Hansen, and St Helens somehow survive.
Little bit of water words there off Richards. Richards thought that Foster had taken him when he was high off the ground. He went at him a second time and he just went over the touchline. Sheer pressure. And again, look, they had to get back in numbers. Matty Smith came to the rescue, not for the first time tonight either.
You know, Eddie, that attacking period went for about 3.5 minutes on St Helens' line. A lot of sides would have cracked. How much it's taken out of St Helens will remain to be seen. They need to get down the field. This is a very, very relieving penalty. This helps them a lot.
Silly move, though. Sean O'Loughlin has been around long enough to realise that at that point of time, OK, Saints have soaked up the pressure. Wilkin gets it right into the mush.
First penalty of the game to St Helens. It's one apiece.
And they won't be rushing this.
Well, this will be the first time, assuming Matty finds a touch and makes a few metres, this will be the first time in the game that St Helens will probably go over halfway with the ball. Even though he hasn't made a lot of metres there, they're certainly going to get over and at least get into Wigan's half.
Here they come with Bryn Hargreaves. Hargreaves, his third consecutive grand final this is. His last St Helens appearance, though. And it's the last appearance on a rugby league field for the man at dummy half, Kieran Cunningham, who finds Matty Smith. Here is Lomax. No way through then. Harrison Hansen saw to that. This is Soliola again. He goes down under a heavy challenge. Andy Coley.
Quite happy St Helens just to drive it through. Nothing fancy. They know that they haven't had much possession.
Wilkin.
This is where they can apply the pressure now.
20 metres away from the Wigan line. Saints all in blue with Cunningham. Finds Matty Smith. A kick wide, but this should be Richards. It's easy for Pat Richards.
Disappointing. kick from Matty Smith yet again. Just a little bit too far in front.
Deacon, Richards and Cunningham and Clough and Graham deal with the threat. The 8th playoff meeting against Wigan. Saints have won 4 of the previous 7. So recent history is with them. But Luluai finds Tompkins, and Tompkins gets those long strides going and puts a beautiful ball in to Luluai. Here is Deacon. Deacon gets it wide to Gleeson, and Gleeson gets his second try. Martin Gleeson's second try at the grand final. Wigan are ahead by 8 points to 0, and at the moment they're running the show. Well, Warrington have won back-to-back cup finals without Martin Gleeson, but Martin Gleeson is making a massive mark on the 2010 grand final. Second try for Wigan, second try for Gleeson, kick to come, right in front of the sticks.
Beautiful quick hands. Look at the combination of the two halfbacks, Deacon and Luluai, and Sam Tompkins. This is why he's become so dangerous, because he knows when to fit into the three-quarter line. Deacon again on the inside. He knew that Gleeson would be there. It's a second try. Glory written all over his face there. But the combination with the two halfbacks, it's been such a wonderful thing to watch. To the Wigan fan this year, they've produced tries like this time and time again. Support play is superb. Brilliant. Saints are stunned. They've got to sort themselves out. They're in a huge hole. Surely he'll add the extras.
Richards makes no mistake from bang in front, and Wigan lead 10-0, Barry.
Eddie, that were right in front of me, and the pace and power that Wigan have got is amazing. They'd absorbed that pressure, and Sean McRae talked about Saints attacking Wigan and making them come from deep. But the pure pace and guile that they had in that situation meant that Martin Gleeson gets in the clear, and they're having fun. They're enjoying what they're doing at the minute.
They are, and so are their supporters, but there's some glum faces on the Old Trafford terraces that have come from St Helens. 10-0, Wigan lead.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Nearly everybody anticipated that St Helens, with Kieran Cunningham starting the game, would apply the pressure, but it's just been completely the other way around. Full credit to Wigan, the way that they are just zipping it away from the forwards. They don't want a forward battle. They want their three quarters to just crucify Saints, and they're doing that.
Eddie, this isn't surprising. Michael Maguire's changed a few things at Wigan, and one is their ability to start games better than anybody else in Super League. In this opening 20-minute period, they've been devastating throughout 2010, and they've continued it on in the grand final. Saints have to live with them here now while they're at the hottest.
McIlorum with one of those traditional and trademark little runs of his, but it's the last one. There's Tompkins. Deacon hoists the kick high and deep. Foster is beaten to it by Richards. It bounces backwards and finds Deacon. It's still the last tackle. Here is O'Loughlin. Over the top it goes to McIlorum. They're spreading it wide again to Luluai. Comes up the middle, and Luluai's kick is far too strong.
Put under a lot of pressure, but again you could see the deficiency that St Helens have in that defence. No one seems to be getting them organised at all.
5th consecutive grand final for St Helens. They've lost the last 3 to the Leeds Rhinos. They're behind by 10 points to 0 after 18.5 minutes of the 2010 grand final. This is Hargreaves.
But their positional play in defence is just not good enough from Saints. Mick Potter knows they have a huge problem. They don't seem to be talking to each other. Nobody seems to want to be organising. Some are going up, some are hanging back. A lot of indecision. Can't win a game unless you sort that out.
Matty Smith, that's a better kick. He finds the deck, but he also finds Darryl Goulding. And then Johnny Lomax comes up and pulls him down.
Eddie, what we're seeing at the moment with St Helens, as Steve-O just rightly alluded to, is what St Helens do to most other sides. They take so much energy out of you, so when you go to return the ball, they're just flat. They're using recovery sets. St Helens have actually been outgunned here for the first 20 minutes of this game. Wigan are playing the ball so much quicker. They've got so much more activity and energy simply because they've dominated with possession and field position.
Here is Richards in a lot of space. Everything that they're trying so far is coming off. Carmont, dummy half to Deacon, and Deacon hoists the kick deep. Melly was the last line of defence, but so too. Oh, the ball has come free. This is a Loughlin, and it's back to 0 in the tackle count. So they have 6 more attempts here with McIlaurin, and they go wide to Goulding. They're in again. Daryl Goulding. He's been overshadowed by Pat Richards this year, but what a finisher this fellow is. That's his 29th try of 2010. It's the 3rd Wigan try in the grand final, and the St Helens fans are going potty.
They've every right to feel that way as well. This is sensational play. They couldn't get that ball from the high kick. Paul Deacon is just kicking his side to glory. Saints are flat, confused. Take nothing away from it. Deacon, the high kick. Wilkin couldn't handle it. Coughs up possession yet again. And quick hands. Look at this. Great stuff. Poor positional play yet again in the defence. Look at this. Johnny Lomax. He should have been out. No way that Melly could come in and fill. There's the try scorer Goulding. He's done it so often this year. They are just applying so much pressure. Saints don't know what's hit them.
Daryl Goulding 12 months ago was at Salford with Sean McRae. Tonight he is at Old Trafford in the grand final. Now Richards with the attempt from way out on the far touchline. And Richards has kicked a belter. Barry.
Eddie, I don't know about you, but I'm going to need substituting in a bit. There's 3 tries, and it's just purely about speed. Wigan's speed, Saints cannot live with it. And again, I'm looking at the faces on the Saints players. They are shocked, and James Graham got everybody behind the sticks, and he was pointing his finger, saying, come on, let's get into this game.
Yes, they haven't started yet, and what's more, Kieran Cunningham goes off with a shake of the head. And this could be even worse, could it? I thought that was going to sail out on the full. Here is Fielden taking on James Graham head-to-head. Kieran Cunningham takes a breather.
The referee has seemed reluctant to penalise holding down in the tackle, Eddie, and I think that St Helens have decided they're going to hold on a little bit longer. They think Wigan did it more to them when they're in possession.
Harrison Hansen, that's a good hit though by Soliola.
Boy, was it ever. Hansen would have felt that. They need plenty of that, but it's the ease that Wigan are getting over the advantage line. Look at this. There's only one marker there, and even he's offside.
Yes, Bryn Hargreaves had to backpedal because had he touched Mark Riddell, there would have been a penalty. Deacon slides the kick in behind Foster, and that will not go dead. They had to take a chance, and Wellens gets out of trouble brilliantly.
That could be a turning point. That could be just one simple thing, a dangerous thing that they did, and this could also be another turning point. Foster under a lot of pressure. Wellens in a good position. He gets out of it. But can James Roby do what he's done so many times for this St Helens outfit? Shake them out of lethargy and get themselves moving.
He only does that when he gets a quick play the ball, Eddie. And look, the control that O'Loughlin and his teammates have around the play the ball at the moment are making life difficult. He's attempting a 40-20. Rather optimistic, though.
On a ground of this size, you're right. Richards thought about the pass inside to Tompkins, puts his shoulder to the wheel instead. Took on Gidley, but went to ground. Now it's Carmont. And it doesn't get any easier for St Helens because big Feka Paliasina has come on just to a great cheer from the Wigan supporters.
Well, it's a go forward, man, isn't it? There'll be no fills. Here it goes, bang.
Roby went down low and stopped him.
Nice step, though, wasn't it, from the big fella?
Harrison Hansen taking on Gidley.
But look how St Helens, I know I'm repeating myself, but I cannot believe that St Helens are just pedalling backwards in defence. Look at that, there's no pressure on the kicker whatsoever.
Another great kick too. Melly takes that brilliantly though. Must say that was a great take under pressure and a good relieving run. Now can St Helens respond? They're trying with Roby.
Well, they should have been penalised there. There was 3 Wigan players, never even got anywhere near 10 metres back.
Andrew Dixon is on. He's come on for Soliola, I think. This is Graham.
Boy,
There's confirmation that is Soliola, who has left the field. Hasn't looked...
No, not the freshest. Oh, nice offload there.
Here goes Matty Smith. Matty Smith to take on Tompkins. Tompkins stands his ground. And the pass finds Roby. And here is Wellens. They go wide and find Flannery. Here Melly. Great defence in touch. Golding, try scorer a few moments ago. Try saver just.
Great run from Matty Smith. But look at that, the fullback got there. They swept it aside, but it's a man-on-man marking system that is working excellent. Daryl Golding, come to daddy, you're going over the whitewash. He's having a fantastic game, and so is the fullback Sam Tompkins. He was put under a lot of pressure there by Matty Smith.
I hope Wigan supporters aren't celebrating prematurely, because if there is one little black spot for them in 2010, they have had a habit once or twice of losing big leads. Bradford away, Quins at home, Leeds at home in the playoffs. Don't ever forget that. So this game is not over yet.
You know, Eddie, I'm not a big fan of when people say most improved players at elite levels, but if there was such an award for a most improved player, surely a player like Daryl Goulding would have to be in that category. How much has he improved and developed over the last couple of years? Absolutely outstanding. That tackle on Francis Melly, I think, just typifies the confidence that he's playing with and the confidence that his teammates have in him.
Deacon down the middle, and Wellens seemed to lose that just briefly. Went right, then turned left and came back again. He has it though, does Paul Wellens.
It's amazing, isn't it? Nearly every Wigan kick that's been put towards St Helens is creating all sorts of confusion. It hasn't happened the other way around, and Palliasina nearly lost his head off there.
Lomax. There he is, Feka Palliasina, Salford bound. Salford have got quite some influence one way or another on this field tonight. But here's a penalty against the big fellow.
Yeah, just holding down a little bit too much, but it's a good play by Roby.
Well, when they get some quicker play the balls, this is where St Helens will be dangerous. 27 minutes into the game, there'll be some fatigue a little bit amongst the Wigan side, and with Roby around the dummy half zone, they've got a chance here, Eddie. This is the best chance they've got of scoring.
Top meter maker 2010, James Graham has the ball. He plays it there to Roby. They go down the left-hand side. Roby's in there again at dummy half as Wilkin plays it to him. Here is Pulatua. And Palliasina just got underneath him.
Blind side's open.
Dumped him to the ground. They've come up the middle though with Matty Smith. Wellens. Farrell tries to get hold of him and does with a bit of help.
Very controlled defence by Wigan there.
Roby, 10 metres away, finds Graham. Graham back to Matty Smith. Smith then finds Wilkin. Wilkin spins away from a couple. Gets the ball then to Dixon, who's in for Saints. Just what they wanted. St Helens. Andrew Dixon in his first major final. He's played in the last 2 reserve team grand finals, and he's lost them both to the Wigan Warriors. But that try from 20-year-old Andrew Dixon might just have sparked a bit of life into the St Helens team.
First real opportunity that Saints have had anywhere near the post, and it was a good weaving run from Wilkin across the design defence, and he put himself in an absolute belter of a position, did this young fella, Andrew Dixon. Great work from Roby. The first time we've seen James Graham, they often utilise him as a standoff, beautiful, beautiful pass. The first time that Wigan's defence did not close in. It left the gap, and Dixon says, I'll take it. Surely this will be an easy conversion.
Well, 52 successful kicks this year. 53 successful kicks this year. Terence!
Well, isn't that the sign of a good side when you can absorb all that pressure that Wigan have been putting on St Helens in this game, and you can go to the other end of the park on the back of a penalty and score a try under the sticks? John Wilkin just creates so many chances. The Wigan defenders falling off him, but Dixon just does what he does best. He hits the hole and scores the try for St Helens.
Well, he's established himself in 2010 as Andrew Dixon, and he has established St Helens back in this grand final. It was in danger of running away from them.
Certainly is, and we mentioned that the only first in real time that Wigan got confused, it was Stuart Field and the prop forward that just could not fill in that gap.
And here is Dixon, the try scorer. Roby, Pulatua.
It is remarkable the times that we have seen, haven't it, when Cunningham's gone off, Roby has come on and just sparked this St Helens outfit, and they really are on fire now.
Let's get news of Soliola. Bill.
You're wondering about his fitness. It's his match fitness that I think is the problem from Sia Soliola. Remember, this is only 6th appearance of an injury-ravaged season. He's out there, or was out there, with his knee heavily strapped. I think he's just had trouble living with the frantic pace and the atmosphere that this game has set off at.
High kick here from Matty Smith. Claimed by Wellens. It tries to get it back. And what's happening here? It's with Graham on the last. Oh, the prop forward has to hump it up in the air. Not a bad kick, actually. Oh, but Graham missed past Richards.
And did you notice there, Eddie, the difference that Wigan have done? They've actually put Pat Richards to fullback, momentarily even, and Sam Tompkins was playing out on the left wing. They do alternate the wingers and fullback, rotate them throughout the 80 minutes.
Kieran Cunningham looking very grim on the sidelines, but at least his team are on the board. I must say there was one moment of the Man of Steel at dinner on Monday night that will stick out in my memory for a long, long time, and that was when Sam Tompkins was asked about his chances of playing in the Four Nations. Would it be at fullback or would it be at standoff? And Sam Tompkins said, I'll play at prop for England. He'd play anywhere, he says. And that sums the young man up perfectly.
Certainly does. No greater honour than to represent your country, but this is a beautiful kick by Thomas Luluai. You know, the experience of Luluai is really coming to the fore in this pressurised grand final. He's putting some neat little kicks, but his ability, you know, to get that quick pass, he doesn't often go into first receiver. That's been taken by Paul Deacon. But when he gets it on the second, he gets the ball quick and he gets it out to his two centres, Gleeson and Carmont, and they're creating havoc.
That's where the scrum will go down here.
Eddie, just wanted to go back to the point you made about Sam Tompkins. Look at the second try that Martin Gleeson scores and the role that Sam Tompkins plays, and that will tell you where his best position is in rugby league. Unquestionably fullback, one of the most natural fullbacks that you'll see.
Well, if Steve McNamara needs any advice, there it is.
It's been a smart move, you know, by Michael Maguire, because he realised end of the season, they know the quality of him. You play him at standoff, he's prone to be attacked by the big fellas. Forwards can't get anywhere near him when he plays full-back. That went backwards. Let's play on.
The ball is sped out wide to Francis Melly, who'll cut inside. Good tackle by Luluai. Luluai, of course, not a man with grand final experience in the Wigan side, but he is a World Cup winner. And here is Jake Emmett. Celebrates his 22nd birthday on Monday. And the dink over the top, well watched by Tompkins. What's happened here with the use of the knees on Tompkins by Francis Melly?
And it appears that way. Neat little chip by Wilkin. I don't think there was anything too untoward. Yeah, oh well, on that angle you could see that the right knee certainly made contact. Flannery tried to add a bit of weight to it. Mick Potter will be a little bit disappointed after that. You know, you've got the opposition way down, 5 metres away from their own line, give away a silly penalty like that.
St Helens lost to Wigan in the last ever meeting at Knowsley Road, but they took their revenge with a 26-24 victory in an epic game at Wigan in June. And they're trailing here in the grand final, and Wigan are in possession with George Carmont. Richards pointing the way from acting halfback, and he finds Liam Farrell. Farrell takes it forward, but is met by stern opposition from Emmett and Dixon. Riddell, Deacon, Luluai, the kick from Luluai. I think that might just run dead, and does. Just trying to calm it down. They got off to a blistering start, didn't they?
Well, at 16-6, they can afford to be able to just kick the ball dead. Get all set up on that 30-metre line, and the way that they've been defending, it's going to be difficult for St Helens to get anywhere near into a good position to get their last kick and chase. The defence has been quite cruel from Wigan. Boom.
Here's Dixon. Of course, Sia Soliola off the field for St Helens as Pulatua takes this ball forward. Met by the Wigan defence. Soliola there, hoping that Saints win tonight, and then the Roosters win in the NRL Grand Final tomorrow.
4, move, hold, go, still got it. Pass, move, Sean, hold, wait, go. Okay.
Poor kick, far too long. So easy there for the fullback Sam Tompkins. He really just has not got his radar right, Matty Smith, at the moment.
Richards grounded on the second tackle. Wigan come out of their own quarter with a run from Liam Farrell and some bad tackling from St Helens. That's better from Wellens.
Beautiful work from the youngster Farrell.
They want to quick play the ball here, Wigan. They've got it with Carmont to Deacon, and Deacon will give it to Luluai. And there are 3 down that right-hand side. Here's one of them, Joel Tompkins, stabs it through. Lomax is after it. Lomax does really well.
Certainly does. Nearly had the ball stolen off him there. Goulding went for a grab, but what about the run here? Farrell, superb stuff.
Outstanding run from Liam Farrell. Pulatua now for Saints. Well, they've steadied the ship, haven't they, St Helens? Wigan's blistering start, Phil, that you've talked about.
Well, they have, and also St Helens are just looking here to inject some speed here around the play ball. Look at the chase downfield here now. Look at this. They've been to grand finals and they know it takes a second effort. When you're tired, you've got to push your body harder. Now, they've had the painful experience of losing here for the last 3 years. Looks like Pat Richards has some pain as well as he limps towards the side for treatment. But with now, 3 minutes to go to half-time, St Helens are pushing for that second effort.
Here is Farrell, though, and that's young Foster trying to pinch the ball from him. I think that the man of steel is in a bit of bother here. He's left the field. It doesn't look good for Pat Richards. Riddell waits dummy half for Wigan. Finds Deacon. And this now is Paul Prescott.
And again, safety first by Wigan with the forwards. Riddell's got it away. I thought he was going to get caught there.
Gleeson, not the best kick.
It's turning out all right, though. They won't mind that at all. 10-point lead. Apply the pressure, which is good.
Don't think it should have been his kick,
no,
though.
It wasn't intended.
You get the sense, though, here, Eddie. Look, St Helens players have run to form this scrum. They're energised here now. I know the half-time hooter is going to sound pretty soon, but they're the ones who are now thinking about scoring rather than resting.
Well, they know they've got one more set of 6 here, and that'll be just about it. 1 minute, 10 seconds to the half-time siren.
Well, do they have the speed out wide to kick straight from the base of the scrum? No, they're going to go safety first.
With Roby, who's met by Prescott and O'Loughlin and Liam Farrell.
Sam Tompkins has yet to drop back. He's just in the dummy position for the chip over.
Pulatua. Let's go down to Bill quickly. News of Pat Richards.
Yeah, it's not good news for the Wigan Warriors by the look of things, as Pat Richards has hobbled and really has limped very, very slowly back to the Wigan dressing room, and he looks really dejected and miserable. This could be a really painful end as what has been a fantastic week so far for Pat Richards, and I don't see him returning for the Warriors the way he left the ground just now.
No, it'll be a big blow that for Wigan. Top point scorer, top goal kicker, top try scorer this year, Pat Richards. Quite a weapon to have in your armour. But here is the last tackle from St Helens, and the kick from Matty Smith is not the best. Straight into the arms of Tompkins. And Tompkins bounces off Lomax, can't get away from Dixon. This is where we think Richards got injured.
Looks like the right leg, doesn't it? Well, Mick Potter, he knows at the half-time break he's got to sort out this kicking game. It hasn't been clever from Matty Smith. Been far too easy for Wigan to defuse everything that's been kicked towards him.
This is O'Loughlin into the last minute of the first half of the 2010 Grand Final, and Riddell finds Prescott. Last tackle here. Saints might get one more kick and rush. Tompkins trying to make sure that that doesn't happen, because he's found touch, has he? No, it's a sensational kick. Look at the chase as well. There's no way forward for Foster, but now there is. It's a penalty.
Just got a little bit excited, didn't they? You can see the swinging arm there.
I think I'm right in saying that Joel Tompkins is Wigan's most penalised player this year.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around, does he? There's a real swinger.
There's the half-time siren. Will they kick and chase for Melly? Well, they tried with the kick from Matty Smith, but Goulding read the script, and that's the last action of this first half. It's the biggest half-time lead in the Grand Final since 2001, when Wigan trailed the Bradford Bulls by 26 points to 0. And the Wigan faithful think that they are halfway towards having the job well done. A blistering start from them. They were 16-0 up in 20 minutes. Gleeson twice, and Goulding over for the tries. Richards with 2 goals. But then Dixon's try just before the half hour breathed a bit of life into St Helens, and Foster added the goal. Wigan leave the scene. They are ahead by 16 points to 6. So part 2 of the Grand Final story 2010 is about to unfold. Wigan, the cherry and white, traditional, against the all blue of Saints. We're underway, 40 minutes, and we'll know who are the 2010 Super League champions, unless we go to the drama of Golden Point.
I think it's safe to say that St Helens and their coach Mick Potter realise that they have to sort their defence out. The kicking game has to improve, and I think they know that they've got to score a try within the first 15 minutes to have any opportunity. 10 points is certainly not enough lead for Wigan to sit back and say we're going to lift the trophy. They've got to work hard. They were sensational in the first 40. Well, that's a better kick. It's found terra firma, and it's split the full-back and the winger.
Goulding will run it back for Wigan, but only as far as Roby. Asked Sean McRae at half-time, Steve-O, when Mick Potter will throw the dice and say, let's get Cunningham out there.
Well, he's got to be very careful, because the only time that St Helens have looked dangerous is when he brought off the bench James Roby. He added the spark, got them back into a position. At least they scored 1 try. So maybe he might have to do something that he's done quite a few times this year, leave them both out on the field.
Is the story of the 2010 Grand Final still to unfold. O'Loughlin gets it away to Farrell. Now it's with Gleeson. Gleeson tried to go inside Wilkin, but he and Flannery saw to it he was going nowhere. It's the last tackle, and that's Farrell. Here is Lulawai, jinks away from Wilkin. We almost looked behind him then and said, come on, I've pushed him that way, where is everybody? Foster does well to claim that kick.
Brilliant take. That was a very high kick indeed, under a lot of pressure.
One of the discoveries of the year, young Jamie Foster. 16th appearance, he averages 11 points a game. He was man of the match against Wigan in June, a try and 3 goals, and he, if I remember rightly, he diffused a number of situations like that.
I'll tell you something, Eddie, there's a change already with Pat Richards not being on the field. I'll guarantee you Jamie Foster doesn't catch that ball if Pat Richards playing on the left wing. He would have got up above him, contested the ball, probably taken it like an Aussie rules type catch and come down. That's one of the things that Wigan, one of the strengths Wigan have had.
Oh, Lomax. He cuts inside, tries to go past Farrell, but it's a turnover here. Let's go straight down to Bill.
Eddie, the news on Pat Richards is cruel. He started the week as a hero, man of steel, as you said, top points, top tries, top of the game, in fact, and going into this, his big night, well, he's leaving Old Trafford on crutches very shortly. It's an Achilles tendon injury for the Irish international, and how cruel is sport when you're up such a height like that, and then Pat Richards ends the week with a crushing blow like that.
That's an awful blow. And talking of an awful blow, it looks like Paul Prescott has taken a blow to the face, and the referee wants him off the field because he's got blood on the shirt, so that needs to be changed as well.
Well, it's a sad end to the season, isn't it?
That's an awful piece of news about Richards.
Certainly is, Pat Richards. He's had a wonderful season. And, I'm sure that Michael Maguire, the Wigan coach, would have said, look, you know, we've got to do it for Pat Richards now. He can't help you out there. It's in your own hands, and the way that they've played in that first 40 minutes, if they can get anywhere near that again, it's going to be difficult for Saints to get back into this game, never mind win it.
This is Tompkins just asking the question of the St Helens defence again. Carmont directing operations at dummy half, finds Coley, finds Deacon, finds Luluwai. And Luluwai shows it to Farrell. They all bought it. They all bought it. And he's going on all fours. He's got to score, hasn't he? He's got to score, Thomas Luluwai. But did he get the ball down? The body language tells you yes, and the body language of the St Helens defenders tells you yes as well.
Well, if he gets a nod from the video referee, Ian Smith, they tried everything. Does he get it down? Oh, now he's short there. He doesn't get it down. It'll be a penalty. It's a steal. You can see Wilkin hanging on there. Lomax, has he lost it, or is it classified as a steal? I think you'll find that this could be a steal. Or does he take it intently? Oh boy, this is a big one for Ian Smith. I don't think it's a try. It's short there where the ball hits the line. Just short of the line there, loses it. I think that Lomax has pinched that ball. I think they'll get a penalty here, Wigan. It's certainly not.
Is it a loose carry by Thomas Luluwai? It looks on that evidence.
It's a big decision that somebody's got to make, Eddie.
It's a massive decision for Ian Smith, this. We know it's no try, it's what the decision at the end of it all is. And it's a penalty kick to the attack, and I'll tell you, Paul Wellens, when that decision flashed up on the big screen, he bounced the ball away in absolute disgust.
Yeah, he's not pleased, but they're going to have to soak up the pressure.
It's an interesting call by Wigan. I think they've just indicated they're going to take a kick at goal. Well, there's no Pat Richards out there.
Well, this guy, he's no stranger to kicking goals, don't worry. He's been doing it for many years, as this fella Mark Riddell.
It's his farewell appearance. He's only kicked and scored 1 goal this year so far. One goal in the Super League, 6 in the Challenge Cup, so he knows the way to the posts.
Wait till you see the technique. It's an absolute classic, this.
Will he raise the arm, you think?
There we go.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
They've seen him before.
Here he comes. Yep.
He's missed it, though.
What a massive decision at this point in the game to kick at goal so close to the opponent's try line. I think St Helens will have celebrated when Wigan indicated they want to kick at goal, because the thought of hanging on for 6 more tackles, and Mark Riddell's obviously an element of disappointment there, but could possibly be the lifeline that St Helens needed to start the second half.
Very interesting indeed. You're right, Phil. The decision to to take the kick at goal. They had the penalty right on the Saints try line. Richards is out there. It's 2 points of certainty. Here is Tompkins. Maybe they know better than anybody.
Well, they knew they were it was going to go dead in goal, so they'd get the ball back. So they get himself into a good position.
And here they come with Coley, finds a
Did that
Lachlan.
look to touch forward there. They're going to get away with that one, perhaps.
Good tackle by Roby. Riddell, Coley. Last tackle here for Wigan, indicated by the raised arm this time of the referee, Richard Silverwood. Deacon dabs the kick over the top. Nobody there in the shape of Pat Richards. He's off the field. Wellens sails above everybody and collects it.
Tremendous take by Wellens. Something that they lacked in that first half. Someone getting out on that field of play and saying, listen, it's mine. They've got to cooperate. They've got to start talking a little bit more to each other. And they've got to change their tactics slightly as well. They're finding it difficult to get through this solid defence. They're coming at them very quickly, the Warriors. They're forcing him into one-out rugby league football. Got to start doing something a bit different. There's not too many dummy runners either.
Good ball from Roby to Wellens. Wellens makes the break. He has Lomax with him. He also, the pass straight to Golding. Tompkins, I think, if he'd have gone right, I think Tompkins actually got to him as he was passing that ball.
You're right, and Lomax was on the other side. Oh, Golding came to the rescue. Brilliant break by the fullback Paul Wellens.
But his opposite number, Sam Tompkins, just got to him in exactly the right moment. That's got to go down as a chance for St Helens. Hansen kicking it. Well, you can't do that. You can't push people in the ruck, and that was O'Loughlin. This is Deacon. Last tackle here. It's with Luluai. Up it goes again. And that's a deep kick. Melly, it was easy. Good return of the ball by Melly with a bit of interest.
Well, in the last set, we saw James Roby run from dummy half and create some space for Paul Wellens. I think that's what St Helens have talked about. Some speed around the play the ball area, finding your front, landing quickly as James Graham's trying to do, and getting up to plate to offer Roby and Cunningham when he comes back on in about 5 minutes, I predict, to have that chance to run from there and create havoc.
This is Pulatua. He's grounded by 4, 2 peel off.
The biggest problem for St Helens, of course, is that Wigan have held him down quite for long periods in regards to the tackle. They wrestled with them. Look, they put them to the ground again. And that is a sad sight, yeah.
Pat Richards takes his place. He's played all 34 games this year. Whoa, that's a mess. And that's hacked away. Suddenly St Helens have got the sniff of a comeback.
They certainly have. But the break from Wellens was the key to it all. Lift the spirits. Look at Lomax on that right-hand side. Fair play. Goulding got himself into a wonderful position, but Tompkins just put this fella off sufficiently. But listen to the crowd now. They'd very little to shout about in that first 40. But this second stanza, the error, can it turn the tide?
Well, this is a chance for St Helens with Lomax. And Roby pointing the way, finds Wilkin. Wilkin running straight. Pulatua taking on the smallest man in Deacon. Deacon and Joel Tompkins combining to bring him down. Here goes Roby. Got the ball away then to Clough. Graham wants it. They go instead to Matty Smith. Matty Smith to Wilkin. Oh, he lost the ball.
He knew exactly what he was going to do, Wilkin. He was going to step off the left boot, but you've got to get the ball first. Must take it in. It was right in the breadbasket.
Sorry, Steve, I was just going to say Matty Smith had to play out the back there. He had to let John Wilkin go through and play out the back. They ended up with something like a 3-on-1 out the back. It was the wrong choice. It was the wrong play.
Well, St Helens showing plenty start of this second half. Flannery gets to Gleeson. They've had 2 chances in the opening 10 of this second half, St Helens.
And it should spell out a big warning as far as Wigan's concerned. Michael Maguire will be saying, hey, come on, our defence was very, very good. They were talking to each other, helping each other out. They're a little bit confused on that occasion.
Riddell gets it to Fielden, met by Pulatua and Roby. Gets the ball away, though, to Deacon. A bit of a risk. Now it's Tompkins.
Play on.
The referee says play on. St Helens let him go. They thought the tackle had been completed.
Nearly lost it. Tompkins, Sam that is, regathered just in time.
Sean O'Loughlin drives it forward.
Well, I'm not so sure. I thought that had been completed. It seemed to have stopped.
High kick from Lulawai.
Too far.
Wellens is underneath this. No pressure on him.
Well, he might not be the fastest fullback in the world, Paul Wellens, but I tell you what, when you talk about putting positional sense, it's like a radar. It just seems to know where it's going, doesn't he?
Roby finds Graham. Graham gets the ball away. That's Dixon. He wants to play it quickly and does to Roby, who finds Smith. They go wide to Gidley. Gidley is collared by Carmont. Now it's Lomax. Ooh, obstruction.
Yeah.
Wilkin running through the Wigan defence. Behind him went Hargreaves.
And as soon as he threw the dummy, it was always going to be a bit of a problem. Utilisation of the dummy runner, even though he was coming on the angle, it was always going to be the case that Richard Silverwood would put the whistle in his mouth and give away a relieving penalty. Well, they've had the opportunities of St Helens. It lifted their spirits, but it hasn't changed the scoreboard.
And this is an opportunity here for Wigan to come again from deep in St Helens territory. Gleeson restarts, finds Lulawai. Coley trundles it in towards Paul Clough.
They've been far more adventurous, Wigan. Even when they're taking the ball up with just the forwards, they're bringing someone as a dummy runner.
Harrison Hansen, 20 metres away from the Saints line. Gets up, plays the ball to Riddell. Deacon then to Coley. Short ball, and Coley was virtually standing still. Takes tackle number 3. They're inching towards that Saints line, though. Riddell goes left, went in front of O'Loughlin, finds its way to Harrison Hansen. And they've suddenly just lost their way a little, Wigan. The St Helens defensive line is very quickly up, though. Here is Lulawai. Back it comes to Tompkins. Tompkins goes for the gap. And Tompkins, I think, has scored. Outstanding from Tompkins. The young player of the year. And he stretched out those arms and he plunked the ball over the line. Sam Tompkins. He retained the Player of the Year title on Monday. He played for England against Australia in the Four Nations final last year. His England debut against Wales, he came up with a hat-trick. The St Helens fans are pretty glum, but the Wigan supporters believe they have a new star, and his name is Sam Tompkins.
That there is little doubt, Eddie. Sensational finish. He has teased them all throughout this game. The ability to put himself in a good position, look at that. Gets underneath, they should have had him. They really should have got hold of him. Chris Flannery pegs him out here. Couldn't keep him down. Reaches out. You little beauty. Lulawai, he knows how effective he has been in this game.
You know, Wigan's game plan has a minimum of simple plays executed with a maximum of effort, and it's the pace, I suppose, that he injects when he catches the ball. His acceleration is superior to probably everybody else on this field.
Well, it's Mark Riddell again. He mightn't have kicked too many in this country, but he's got over 200 goals to his name in his career in the NRL, and while he is lining this up, Kieran Cunningham is readying himself to come back into the action for St Helens. Oh, and he's sliced it wide. Terry.
well, Wigan will back themselves down there to defend. They come up the other end of the park, and on the right-hand side, you have Thomas Luluai and Sam Tompkins, probably two of the dangerous players that Wigan have got, and you could see the Centellas holding back. They wouldn't commit anything. Sam Tompkins is just an absolute immense talent scoring that try.
Fantastic try from Tompkins. And did you see when they were having the debate about how to continue this game on, O'Loughlin was having his say, but Tompkins had the loudest voice. Short kick-off from St Helens.
Yeah, he's not a shy lad, don't worry about that, and that's it's great to see as far as this country is concerned. But the ability, you know, for him to, and it has been an absolute wonderful move by their coach, Michael Maguire.
Let's go down to Bill.
Just seen Kieran Cunningham back on the pitch after quite a long time in the dugout just behind me. You get the feeling that this is make or break for Saints. Cunningham back out there. They've got to get something on the board soon, or else this game could even get further away from them.
Here's a penalty to Wigan. And Sean, you said if Wigan got the first try, you would see Cunningham on. You're right.
Yeah, I think Mick Potter's probably no choice now. They're 14 points behind, which means you've got to score 3 tries, haven't you, to win this game. And I still think it's a little early on the clock. I don't think Mick wanted to bring Kieran back just right now. I think he would have been happy had the scoreline stayed at 16-6 just a bit longer. But sometimes you've got to take a bit of a risk, a bit of a gamble, and I think he's going to have to play him now for the next 25 minutes. I think you've got to keep James Roby on the field. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see Tony Pulatua come back pretty soon as well. He's been off now for 5 or 10 minutes. I think you've now got to throw all your big guns out there.
Let's see, because here come Wigan again. Deacon switches the direction of the attack. Luluai pops it up to O'Loughlin. Whoa! Melly caught Sam Tompkins round the chops.
Yeah, very lazy, very late. To be fair to Tompkins, he does a bit of a dive, sees that the referee's given the penalty, and he gets up. Well, this is where I would take the 2. Yep, doesn't miss. A little bit of extra drama.
Well, I think the referee caught the drama of the occasion then. Sam Tompkins went down.
Oh, they're going to the corner. They want extra blood.
Well, Richards isn't out there, so it's not a given 2 points. But they fancy the chances for 4. And here is Deacon. Finds Tompkins. Wide they go. Brother Joel wants to play the ball quickly and does to Tompkins. Gidley was right in the thick of the ruck then.
Lucky not to give away a penalty either.
Come on. Back it comes to Deacon. Here is Hansen. And Cunningham envelops him.
Watch for the quick hands again. Luluai screaming for it.
O'Loughlin, there is Luluai. Gives it to Gleeson on the diagonal run. He keeps it going to Riddell. In turn, he finds Fielden. And Fielden goes down, and St Helens have a penalty in front of the sticks.
A late tackle on Sean O'Loughlin, I think, Eddie.
Well, I've got to take the 2 now.
No, Pat Richards, there he is, watching on with us.
Well, surely Deacon will take this, or will Riddell have a go?
I think Tompkins has kicked a goal once or twice as well.
Well, he's got the ball in his hand. Well, it wasn't for that incident, I don't think. It was a little bit of... just a bit earlier to that.
Something happened, I think, off the ball.
Sean O'Loughlin passed the ball on the players who was coming out, and it was a late tackle in the ribs from... He's actually getting up at that point. This is now Stuart Fielden taking it to the line.
Gidley did make contact, so...
You'll see it here. Soliola in number 4 just hits him after he's passed it.
Soliola on O'Loughlin. So we've solved the conundrum why the penalty was given, and Pat Richards says, take the 2. And this time, I think that Mark Riddell will fancy his chances. Bang in front. Just to stretch the lead a little further. 20 points to 6 it is at the moment.
Oh, it's the only option. Got to do it. Just drive another nail deep into the heart of St Helens.
The referee's called time back on. He could have waited another half a minute. A unique style and 2 points. 22 points to 6. Riddell with the penalty from bang in front.
Well, St Helens want to get on with it quick. Surely they'll go for a short one. They read everything, and there is the raised arm. He made it famous in Australia. Not much opportunity to do that here, but that's a vital one. They've got it. They've got... Oh, no, they haven't. Wigan's got it.
They're going mad. The St Helens players, led by James Graham, are going potty at the referee.
Yeah, he'll penalise him. You can't talk to the official like that.
John Wilkins flat out.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that he's talking about there. I think he believes that the ball came back off a Wigan player.
Well, they had to go for a short kick, that's for sure. And I think you're right. I think it came off Sam Tompkins. But this is not the way. No, maybe not. Wilkin did get a hand to it straight away. But Riddell reacted quickly.
Well, Graham is penalised for the dissent.
You just cannot talk to an official like that, irrespective of whether it's a grand final or whether the 6-year-old's running around on a park on a Sunday morning.
The penalty count at the moment is 8-3 in Wigan's favour.
Can't argue with that one though, can you?
No, he can't.
I mean, very often he's lucky not to be sent to the sin bin. A lot of players in Super League with that sort of behaviour would be sent to the sin bin. Yeah, you do have to respect the officials. I admire his competitive nature. It's almost second to none in the Super League, but you have to have some control and discipline, and it's difficult here now as time ticks away, agonisingly for the St Helens players.
And he's frustrated because, I don't know whether you heard him say to the referee, but yeah, it's a big occasion though, isn't it?
It is a big occasion, but you talk about keeping your control.
We've never had a player sent off or sin-binned in this grand final series, by the way.
But the point I'm making is that discipline is so important, Eddie. Now, if Saints' discipline in defence in the first half had been anything like it, they wouldn't be in this mess that they are looking at now.
It's Harrison Hansen. Big hit by Cunningham, that was. Riddell. Fielden. Not scored for over 2 years, Fielden. Wouldn't be a bad night to get one, would it? Riddell waits. Luluwai. Certainly tormenting the St Helens defence, this fellow. Plays the ball quickly to Riddell. Here is O'Loughlin.
Slipped.
Now, was that an obstruction? The ball came back to Farrell, who just put his hands up, and St Helens have conceded another try.
He'll go to the
referee is going to hand it upstairs, though. He just wants to check on the obstruction. But if this is given to Liam Farrell, I think it'll be curtains for Saints.
Loughlin slips, then spins.
Well, strict interpretation, he's going to have to chalk this off.
Yep. There's the slip. Loughlin did well. Nice handoff.
And then he runs around the back. And no, you can't just put your hands up.
No, it's got to be wiped off.
No, I'd agree with that. I don't think that try can be awarded there because I think it's Chris Flannery who doesn't get an opportunity. He could make the tackle now.
Well, you can see
But
Flannery's
all of a sudden he has to make it now. You know, it's a few seconds later. So he hasn't had the opportunity to make that tackle.
Flannery's hand definitely gets to Farrell. There should be no try.
Well, they haven't checked the grounding, so you would assume so. It is chalked off. And is that the lifeline St Helens needed? Well, he was dancing around Old Trafford in delight a few minutes ago. Liam Farrell.
It's a pity for him, Eddie. He's had a breakthrough season, only 20 years of age, sort of featured in the second half of the season. He's been picked in front of older, more experienced players. I suppose he's done what the coach has asked him to do, and he's destined for a great 10 years ahead of him.
Talking of Farrell, I saw Andy Farrell on the way back up to the gantry, looking very well. There he is with Dennis Betts alongside him. And I said, "Are you making a comeback, Andy?" He said, "No chance." 40-metre line, St Helens are on. Graham gives it then to Soliola. takes the return back. Over the top it goes. And this is Hargreaves. Hargreaves to Flannery. We're into the last quarter of the match. Here's a penalty to St Helens. Manna from heaven.
Certainly is, and they've just gone into the final quarter, so there's still plenty of time.
Oh, there is for this lot.
There certainly is.
Well, this is when they're at their best. Inside the opposition 20, when they need to score, this is when St Helens are at their best.
And Cunningham is out there. He finds Graham, and Graham gives it to Matty Smith. Nick Potter watches as the hero against Warrington just suddenly looks for a hole to jump into.
Nothing wrong with the pass. Just took his eyes off the ball, looking at the opposition coming towards him.
Ryan Giggs loves the game of rugby league. Manchester United superstar. Big fan of this game. Never misses the grand final if he possibly can. It's a night when all the celebrities come out to play at Old Trafford for the grand final.
They certainly do. I spoke this afternoon to Jason Robinson. He was hoping that his former club could pick up the trophy. It looks pretty good at this point in time. But as Sean McRae mentioned, you know, Saints, they're the past masters, are coming back into the game.
That mistake from Matty Smith, though, that could be absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
They were on the front foot then. Now it's Wigan's turn to attack from deep with Fielden. Cunningham got to him.
They've worked hard at the Wigan forwards. They really have taken it to their opposition.
Good kick from Tompkins, that. Turns Wellens around. He gives it to Melly.
But look at the welcoming committee there. They have been so disciplined throughout this game.
Foster going nowhere. Coley was there. Cunningham waits at dummy half. The seconds are ticking away from St Helens' point of view. Oh, he does brilliantly well to get rid of that, though. Here is Graham. Now it's Matty Smith. Matty Smith goes for the break. Just clawed to the ground.
Good tackle by Hansen.
It was Lomax. Smith again. Oh, Cunningham's got the dropsies now. It's not going to be his night, I fear.
I think he knows it. And 30-odd thousand St Helens fans are beginning to realise that it is not going to be their night. The second occasion where they've launched an attack to apply the pressure. Look at this. Wellens made the break. Lomax on the inside. Good work by Sam Tompkins, put away with him. And then watch Wilkin trying to come back on the inside. Frittered that chance away, and then Matty Smith makes the error. You can't afford to do that. You need to take those. They would have been back in the ball game. They ain't.
Here goes Tompkins again, halted by Gidley. Carmont gets the ball away. Joel Tompkins plays the ball quickly. Carmont, quick play the ball, got Saints on the back foot.
But all they got to do now is Wigan is just camp down in the St Helens area. Just keep down there, and they're keeping this ball alive.
Gleeson, who's on a hat-trick, halted on tackle number 4. O'Loughlin is the dummy half. It's now with Luluwai, and Luluwai went to slide the kick in. It's 6 to go, surely. That was played up by Cunningham, wasn't it?
No, I think the ball played the man. Well spotted there by Richard Silva, but this is the last.
Thought the foot had come up from Cunningham, but
Deakin will get this, will he? No, it's Luluwai, short into the corner.
That's picked up by Wilkin, and he's looking for a bit of support. Coley gets to him.
Did well there. Luluwai didn't have the legs. Neither did Wilkin, to be fair.
Tompkins with the
Quick
tackle
play
on
the
Flannery.
ball. They need it,
Kick
and
for
they've got
Foster.
it.
Kick for Foster. Oh.
He's called for it. He's called for it, Foster.
Too late. Too late.
Here goes Gidley. Oh, and Roby somehow gets to it and gets away from the tacklers. Foster gets it, gives it then to Matty Smith. But they're one out, Saints.
Yeah, but look how quickly the Wigan defence has got themselves organised. Superb stuff.
Graham, short pass to Soliola. Cunningham 10 metres away. Is this a St Helens chance? Can they hang on this time? It's with Wellens. And here is Wilkin. Good defence again from Wigan.
That was a move they tried before. Wilkin dropped it, remember, not on that occasion though.
Graham
He's dropped it. Or did he kick it? Play on. Oh, Smith's gone for it.
The turnover.
Well, it looked as though Graham had dropped it, but I think he actually put boot to ball. There's a kick here. Wilkin made the break. Luluwai couldn't get to him, but what about the work there by Andy Coley? Gidley kept it alive. Rowan did some wonderful handwork. All to nothing. A missed chance. Eden again. This is the incident where Graham, yeah, he definitely went for it, but I think he knocked on. Not the best attempt. And the high shot.
High shot about it. Gleeson.
Yep. Cunningham, to be fair, just checks his jaw, did Cunningham. Say, are you all right?
This is inventive. Penalty, and Tompkins running it. Saints were way back for the kick, and they conceded about 20-30 metres, so Tompkins typically just tapped it and ran it.
Yep, and look at the St Helens players, not even looking. Yeah, their backs to the Wigan side, and when they see that, little wonder that Sam Tompkins says, hey, come on, their heads are going down, we'll just drive forward.
Luluwai gets it away to Gleeson. Gleeson cuts inside, halted by Flannery and by Melly.
And again, the combination, Deacon and Luluwai, they have set up everything. They have controlled this game from start to finish.
Last tackle here. Tompkins plays the ball to McIlorum, finds Luluwai. There's Deacon, slides a tantalising little kick in. Matty Smith does well. Hansen was on him in a flash. Foster. Well, how do Saints get back in this in the last 13 minutes?
Got to take a gamble. You know, a little chip over the top, but Sam Tompkins, even though he hasn't played full-back for a long period of time, what a big hit that was.
Luluwai and Wilkin. Lomax, oh.
Back to 6.
Yes, it is. And Foster brings it back at Prescott.
And again, good position by Sam Tompkins. He realises that Saints have got to throw the dice. Maybe the chip over the top. He has not gone deep.
Great
nice
offload.
offload.
Pulatua finds Lomax. Johnny Lomax back in the side tonight on his playoff debut. His first appearance since the beginning of September. Quick hands, Foster. Foster with a kick over the top. Tompkins is there for Wigan.
Great positional play. Good play by Saints. Quick hands out there. But Sam Tompkins was not going to be sucked in. He knew that the kick was coming. Positioned himself. Thank you. He's had a big game as a youngster. They all have. Hasn't been a bad player on the Wigan side.
No, they've come with their A game. And that's Gleeson. 12 minutes to go. Oh, it's another penalty here. Penalised James Graham. And the referee has been having a verbal battle with James Graham for the last 5-10 minutes or so.
Well, I think even the St Helens fans would realise that it has not been a great battle by the Saints forwards. They really have not shown that aggression that we've seen for many seasons.
Beaten in the last 3, and they're looking down the barrels of being beaten in 4 in a row at Old Trafford. Fielden.
They've just been far too good, you know, Wigan in the forwards and the 3 quarters. And this guy, alongside Paul Deacon, has steadied the ship. It's not going to be the dream ending for Kieran Cunningham.
That's a great run, though, isn't it? McIlorum. The ball came away because Wilkin was all over him.
Well, they're getting extremely frustrated now, and they know that it's the end of the road. Messing around, he should have released him. Referee at goal held. And will Sam Tompkins take this? I think he might.
Well, there's frustration in St Helens camp and the referee wants another word.
And it looks like the young fullback Sam Tompkins will try to add an extra 2 points to this. He knows that the clock's ticking away. As soon as he raises the arm, Richard Silverwood, once he's placed the ball. And the Wigan fans getting good voice now. They know it.
Well, they know this game's over. They know that St Helens really can't come back from here. This is going to eat time on the clock, even though he stopped it momentarily, but it gives everyone a chance to have a break, particularly the Wigan players. They'll be able to now come back, receive the ball one way or another, whether Sam Tompkins kicks the goal or not, they'll still get the ball back. Tell you what, they have some faith in some kickers if Paul Deacon's not kicking for goal.
Well, we saw Sam Tompkins kick his 2 goals previously in Super League at Murrayfield, and he's missed this one. So Saints are still within range, aren't they? But it'll take a superhuman effort from them.
Yeah, they're up against it on their time, but tell you what, Paul Deacon...
Short drop out.
He must have a Varuka or something like that, because I mean, he's a decent goal kicker.
Farrell plays the ball to Tompkins. Here goes Prescott, gets the offload away to Sam Tompkins, shrugs off the attention of Wilkin. That could have been a flop by Wilkin.
Should have been, just got away with it. I'm not so sure Sam Tompkins liked it. Went looking to find out who did it. Just drive and drive. They'll suck in this Saints defence, and they've done so often throughout this game, and then do the link. There's a big hit. They won't mind that.
That's great work. That's tremendous work there from Paul Prescott. McIlorum again gives the ball to O'Loughlin. Tompkins called for it, but Gidley was loitering with intent. Tompkins get it this time, stabs the kick into the in-goal area, and to the rescue young Jamie Foster.
And they're the types of kicks that you really do need when you're in control of it. Good work by Jamie Foster. He's had plenty to do as well as a winger. And he came to the rescue there. He was being hunted by the man that put the kick in, Sam Tompkins.
Another short one.
They've got to go for it. Got to give them credit. Oh,
that's right. Harrison Hansen comes up with the knock on. Well, they get away with that, Saints.
Yeah, not the best take. He's trying to claim that it went backwards, but just lost control. And I think both sides realise that they don't want to rush. The writing is on the wall. A sad farewell for that fella, Kieran Cunningham.
Wellens gives it to Lomax. Takes on Goulding. Roby. Let's go down to Bill.
Eddie, you're wondering why Paul Deacon's not been involved in the kicking merry-go-round for the Wigan Warriors. Well, you do remember that a couple of weeks ago he picked up that groin injury in the game at the DW Stadium, and I suspect it goes back to that he's come back earlier than they anticipated, so possibly he's not 100%, and certainly not maybe up to doing the goal-kicking duties as well. Mind you, it might be his turn next.
Yeah, it might be, yes. Thanks for clearing up the mystery, Bill. Gidley's forward pass.
Forward, dearie me.
Foster, didn't he ground that in goal then? Sam Tompkins, I think he did.
Well, that was so far forward, it was ridiculous. He tried his damnedest, and you're not going to get away with it, sunshine. He just pops it over late, but Foster had already laid the finger. Watch this, how forward it is. Oh, dearie me.
Stuart Fielden, he's been to quite a few grand finals.
What an amazing journey Stuart Fielden's been on since he joined Wigan. Almost relegated in 2006 when he arrived at the club. 4 years later, a central part of a successful side that think they're the start of the new dynasty.
7th grand final for Fielden. He's back on the big stage.
And you've got to give a lot of credit to their new coach, Michael Maguire, who really has brought a lot of zip back to this Wigan outfit. They look fitter. Even at the start of the season, we made so much comment, didn't we, Eddie, in regard to the fact that they are so fit, eager. He'll be a very proud man, and so will this fella as well.
Penalty to St Helens. Here they come with Graham. Now it's with Matty Smith. Matty Smith, they go wide and find Melly. Melly will squeeze in the corner for St Helens. Hang on, 7 to go. 7 minutes to go. First of the tries required. Francis Melly, the try scorer. 5 grand finals for this fella in 5 seasons. New Zealand Warriors 2002 beaten in the NRL grand final. And he's put a bit of life into St Helens here late on.
Surely even St Helens can't do it. Good work. They had the numbers there. He just brushed Daryl Goulding out of the way. It's a big unit. Bang. That's a great finish, even though they had the numbers.
Well, Foster kicks this, and they'll believe something's on. He's missed it, though. 22-10. 2 converted tries for Golden Point.
I think they needed that conversion to lift their spirits. Wigan won't be rushing this.
Time off. Barry, down to you.
Eddie, it's been an amazing period of time, and St Helens are just trying to stay within distance. There's no doubt that this game has gone now. There's no doubt for this St Helens side, all they can do is play for pride, but Francis Melly gets within 5 metres of that line. There's no stopping him.
So here comes St Helens again. 5.5 remaining. They need 2 converted tries to force Golden Point. Oof, Wilkin seemed to... His back seemed to arch over the half-grounded figure of Thomas Lulawai then. Wigan have missed 4 kicks at goal. The game would have been out of sight, but there's no Pat Richards on there.
Well, they'll watch the video, and even Mick Potter will realise that, you know, so many opportunities Saints have had in the second half, they didn't take them. Probably 4, maybe 5 clear-cut chances. They've only gone over once.
Well, look, they're not in the mood to give it up easily. Here goes Wellands. Last tackle, though, here for Saints. They need something special from Matty Smith. He finds Flannery, and the kick is far too hard.
Idea was good, execution poor.
When you need to score 2 tries in a period of 5 or 6 minutes, what you can't afford to do is turn the ball over. You just can't do it. You've got to get a penalty, or you've got to get a repeat set. Something's got to happen there. This will now take another minute off the clock if we can complete this set of 6.
When you need 2 tries in 5 minutes, you need your special players on the field. And sadly for St Helens, they've been in without Leon Price and Kyle Eastman. It's an amazing achievement that they've actually even got here without their first choice, number 6 and 7. They've shown such strength in depth and versatility across the squad. But what a difference those 2 players would have made here tonight.
Absolutely, and you do have to feel sorry for Mick Potter. He's going to leave Knowsley Road at the end of this match in 4 minutes' time, and it looks like he will be the unwanted St Helens coach to take a record with him of never winning a trophy in the Super League era, which is a really, really sad indictment because he's done a great job. But this fellow, Sam Tompkins, no wonder he's the young player of the year. Let's hope he can carry it through to New Zealand.
That was the most shocking attempt at the drop goal I think I've seen in years.
Maybe there's the reason why
he's
not been taking the kicks at goal.
Only thought perhaps the game's in the bag, so I may as well have a go at it, but I think he might have damaged it. He's not 100% out there, Paul Deacon.
Well, they are just 3 minutes away, Wigan, from their first grand final success since 1998.
And fully deserved. They've completely outplayed St Helens. That first 40 minutes.
Hang on. Matty Smith was almost through.
Chip over. They've got to do it.
Wilkin tries to turn them round, but it's not to be. Not this time. They've had their chances, Saints, tonight, no doubt about that.
Yep.
And Phil makes a very good point. What would have happened had they had Price and Eastman out there? It's all what-if night for St Helens again tonight. Their 4th consecutive grand final defeat.
And again, just to go back to the point, you take Sam Tompkins and Thomas Luluai, the number 6 and 7 out of the Wigan side, and the team would have a different complexion. It's been absolutely amazing that they've been here and been competitive without the 2 strike players.
Tompkins goes for a 40-20 attempt.
It doesn't matter whether it gets there, because look at the chase.
Wellens gives it to Melly. Melly will bring it forward.
Been a great transformation, you know, since Michael Maguire, the Wigan coach, came this season. Really bolstered their defence, the eagerness, so solid out wide in the likes of Gleeson and Carmont. They've done a real big stint in defence as well.
Soliola did well to hang on to that. Cunningham gets it wide to Gidley. Gidley then flicks it out the back to Foster. Foster finds Matty Smith. No, it's not Matty Smith, I beg your pardon. It was Johnny Lomax. This is Graham. And here's Matty Smith. That's Flannery. That's a big hit on Flannery. A knock on. Goulding shot out of the line and gets congratulated by all his teammates, almost as much as when he got the try that he has scored in this match.
And they know it. They know they've won it.
They do now.
That just about sealed it, didn't it? That wasn't just the icing on the cake. That were the candles, and they're all lit. And they're all in celebration mood. It has been an absolute sensational display by Wigan tonight. Well done, son. Gleeson, give him a kiss. Go on.
Heartbreak again for St Helens at the grand final.
Not happy. James Graham. Hasn't been the best night for the big fella.
Joel Tompkins takes the first tackle
But
on that scrum.
They've been out-muscled, Eddie. They really have controlled this game virtually from the moment that they scored their first try, when Gleeson went in for his first of the brace.
Wigan counting down to the victory they've waited 12 years for. Wigan have won it. Scenes of joy for the Wigan Warriors. Scenes of absolute agony for St Helens. James Graham has been along this road 4 years in a row, so has Paul Wellens. And Pat Richards comes out on his crutches, and he is still mobile, which is good news, but didn't take any part in the second half. And the St Helens fans, they've been to Old Trafford again, and they are going home a beaten side. Is it the start of a new Wigan era, this? The new Wigan dynasty?
You'd have to say so, Eddie. And Michael Maguire and
There's
those former
a couple
players,
of characters from the last dynasty.
And they enjoyed their moment. And boy, these youngsters will enjoy this moment too.
Matty Smith, it was one chapter of a possible fairy tale. It didn't quite come off. And the Kieran Cunningham show didn't quite come off either. Bill Bailey giving Harrison Hansen a congratulatory hug. And I think Bill has got the Wigan skipper, Sean O'Loughlin.
Sean, survivor of 2003, you have to go back to 1998 for the best time for Wigan, so that shows how much this means.
Oh, this is the best feeling in my life. This is what everybody works hard for all season, and we've come so far this year, and it's testament to all the players, all the coaching staff, everyone who works at the club. Been a fantastic effort this year.
And as usual, what has been your hallmark this season is coming out of the traps and just tearing into the opposition, and that's what you did tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, we couldn't have asked for a better start. We got points on the ball, we built pressure, and yeah, we just saw it home at the end and worked hard, and our defence pulled us free.
And even credit to Saints, even when you seem to be in control, and you're messing around deciding who was going to kick goals, there's just a feeling that if you let one back in, they could still come back and bite you.
Yeah, no, I think everyone is out there felt that as well, and we know they can score tries, but we backed ourselves all year with our D, and we showed that tonight.
Sean, congratulations on captaining the side to grand final success.
Thank you, cheers.
Andy Coley alongside, and you've slogged away at the coalface in your career, Andy. So to be here as part of this tonight must be very sweet.
Oh, it's immense. This has been it's been a long time coming for me. I'm getting no younger, and to be here tonight, to win it this bunch of people as well, means so much. It's you know, the desire in this squad is unbelievable. I've never known anything like it, and there's only ever going to be one result tonight.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, Saints, to do that to Saints, it's an emphatic victory, isn't it?
It means everything to not just to us, but the people of Wigan. You know, it's a fairy tale story to what's been a great year.
Andy, congratulations. Let's bring the man of the match in, Thomas Luluai. Tommy, congratulations. A man of the match performance, steering the side around the park, Harry Sunderland Trophy winner, grand final winner. All sounds good.
Yeah, feels good, mate. Feels good. Feels awesome, man. We've worked hard this year. We've been through our highs and lows, and mate, it's a good team here, mate. We play team footy. We work for each other, and I don't know what else to say, mate.
These Wigan supporters, there it is, it says it all, doesn't it? 2010 champions. Congratulations to Wigan. Thomas Luluai, by the way, he is the first Kiwi since Henry Paul on a losing side for the Bradford Bulls against Saints in 1999 to win the Harry Sunderland Award as man of the match. It's a sad end to Kieran Cunningham. It's been a fairy tale ride to Old Trafford, but just didn't quite have the money for the last hill on the roller coaster.
No, they never allowed him to get started, and that's the reason why Wigan have won this trophy tonight. They really did work hard in the forwards, and a great selection, you know. Thomas Luluai, he just controlled everything out there, and his partner, Paul Deacon, they just mesmerised Saints tonight. Fully deserved man of the match.
Receiving the award from Andrew Haigh, Chief Executive of Engage Mutual Assurance, the title sponsors of the Super League competition. And this group of players, some are leaving, some are retiring, some are moving on. And, well, they believe with Ian Lenigan there, the chairman, that this is the start of something very, very big. Led from start to finish. Match officials picking up their awards, but they've led from start to finish, Phil, and worthy winners of this title tonight.
Well, they have, and their second team won their grand final last week. They have a bank of talented young players who are willing to do whatever it takes to get into the first team under Michael Maguire, and that's the reason why the Wigan fans are so happy, and they think that the next decade and the prospects for those are as good as they will ever be now. You know, I mean, what a decision by Michael Maguire. You know, the last time Wigan played and lost with St Helens in June, he, the week after, made the big decision to put Sam Tompkins from standoff to full-back. They tried Amos Roberts, Pat Richards and Cameron Phelps, and it was a massive decision which I think has probably helped propel Wigan onto grand final glory.
Well, a bitter pill for St Helens to swallow. There is Amos Roberts. He had an outstanding start to the season, and he just virtually has faded from view as the season has progressed because of the likes of Tompkins and company. But Kieran Cunningham leading his men for the very last time and going up the steps to receive the runners-up prizes. The end of an era for Kieran Cunningham and St Helens, and the St Helens players giving him the opportunity to go up on his own. And coach and chairman enjoying the moment. Saints wearily trudge up these steps. Sadly for them, it's a very familiar path. 4 years in a row now they have lost on the big showpiece night.
But they should have no complaints, every single one of them. And their coach Mick Potter will realise that they have been beaten by a champion side tonight. The captain, Sean O'Loughlin, and praiseworthy indeed, and said this is a great team, as did the man of the match, Thomas Luluai. And it is that team ethic that has really taken them to the heights this year.
So now the moment they have waited 12 years for. They're on the way up to pick up the winners' rings and of course, most importantly, that Super League trophy. Sean O'Loughlin, the captain, will be last man up. He also has to make a speech, of course, doesn't he? This occasion is blessed with that. The winning captain takes the microphone and addresses the crowd. He had just about enough breath to talk to Bill Arthur. Let's hope that he's got enough breath now to talk to the crowd who are left behind here. And there are many thousands of Wiganers who will enjoy what they will see and what they will hear. Good to see Pat Richards up there. Made it up. Paul Deacon, a little pat at the top of the trophy. Darryl Goulding, try scorer. There's the man of the match. Becca Palliasina takes a winner's ring with him to Salford. Andy Coley, the coach Michael Maguire, and last but by no means least, the Wigan skipper Sean O'Loughlin, who follows brother-in-law Andy Farrell as a great grand final winning leader for Wigan. First, he will talk to the crowd, though, if he's got enough breath.
This has definitely been a long time coming. On behalf of all the lads, everyone who's played, everyone who's not played, everyone's been a part of it this season. The staff, the players, everyone involved with the club. It's been a massive achievement. We've come so far this season, and to cap it off with this has been fantastic. All the spectators, to everyone here, thank you very much. It's been brilliant. The 2010.
So he will collect the trophy from Andrew Haigh, and we can say Wigan are the champions of the Super League in 2010. They've waited 12 long years for that moment since Andy Farrell lifted the trophy in 1998. The conveyor belt is producing the players. The stars are coming from Australia next year to cook up a storm. And just maybe this is the start of something big for this Wigan club. They are the champions. Oh, drink it, fellas. Drink it. Don't spray it over everybody, but I know what's coming. There we go. Well, they've broken the champions display anyway. Andy Coley in the front of it all, and inevitably Steve Hampson's there as well. Marvellous moments.
And fully deserved. The enjoyment, the rapture of just holding that trophy. Been a long time coming. And special praise also, Eddie, in regards to when Wigan were going through a bad period. You know, those loyal fans stayed faithful. They still supported them. And remember, they said, why don't they give the young kids a chance? And it has paid off. It has paid off immensely. The young kids, we thought perhaps that the pressure and the atmosphere here at Old Trafford may affect them. It didn't. They were like old troopers. They took it well and they played well.
So there we are. That's the picture that will be in all the papers in the morning, and it will be something, I'm sure, that will be remembered for many, many years for Wigan supporters, their coaching staff,